Drag Race You to the Elite Four, the Halloween Special by uncledeadly. Previously, Pokemon drag trainer Mia easily met and found that she couldn't avoid a new rival, Kenya Moanheart. As they both tried to beat the Hartford City Gym, they found themselves trapped in a fierce storm, where they began to connect on a deeper level. But not that deep. This is still a Christian Minecraft server. I hate you. Then Mia got a call from Professor Charter, who had an impossible mission for her. They were going to... You know what? It honestly isn't that important. None of this recap is. This is a Halloween special. It's totally non-canonical. Send your baby Pokemon to Dreamland and set your Twitch dial to spooky, because it's time for mysterious suspense in tonight's fanfic. Night of the Living Doof. If this is Pokemon Bidoof themed, I swear to God, I'm giving my partner badge to someone else. Send your baby Pokemon to Dreamland and set your Twitch dial to spooky, because it's time for the mysterious suspense in tonight's fanfic. Night of the Living Doof. A thin layer of crisp autumn leaves crunched under the sensible platforms on Mia Easylay's feet. A few deep orange leaves stuck to the heel, though she didn't even notice. Her eyes were roaming all around her on the lookout for any movement. As her feet crossed from the path through the gate, the sky turned dark instantly, and stars appeared overhead. Oh great, it's always night in the cemetery. Thanks, game designers, Mia said. And me without a flashlight, flash mule. There had better be some good ghost Pokemon in here. She stepped slowly down the path, through the first of the gravestones. Mist rose from the ground like a cheap fog machine at the amateur drag night. Mia easily ignored it. She looked for Pokemon, but in the distance, something howled. Ooh! Come on, according to this, there should be at least 5 species native to this area alone, Mia said, eyes flickering from the apt on her eyeberry watch to the cemetery. This shiny charm better be worth wait. What's that? In the distance, coming through the mist, stumbled a form. Human, she thought. It less walked and more shambled. It paused for a second as its head looked towards Mia. Then it moved towards her at a faster, still shambling pace. Oh fuck, I think I'm in the wrong genre! The creature mumbled something halfway English. Sorry, I didn't catch that, Mia said, looking over her shoulder rapidly as she started stepping backwards towards the entrance. As it got closer, Mia could see the figure was a man, pale, gaunt-faced. She could see his sunken eyes and sad-looking skin. Seriously, this guy needed to take better care of himself. Hydrate, man. I said they're coming to get you, Barbara! Who is? Mia shouted. She was not scared. Absolutely, totally not scared. Not even when she bumped up against a tombstone and her heart nearly leapt out of her corset. And my name's not Barbara! The man stopped. Oh, it's not? Of course it's not. I'm sorry. You just look so much like someone I know named Barbara. Excuse me, Mia asked. No, wait, first tell me, who is coming to get me? In answer, there was another howl. Woo! Then a strange warbling sound like some old guy playing a musical saw. It sent shivers down Mia's spine. She spun around. Near her head headed hovered a golden mask being held by 2 black spectral arms. Oh, from Night of the Living Dead. Oh, thank you. Now I remember. 2 black spectral arms. Mia screamed and toppled over the tombstone. Thankfully, she landed on her amply padded butt. But as soon as she stood, she realized it had only just been a Pokemon. Oh, your mask! But those aren't supposed to be here, Mia shouted as she grabbed for a Pokeball at her waist. She held the ball out, ready to throw. The howls grew louder and large from a rush and a large form rushed at her. She dodged out of the way and smashed her knee against another gravestone. Oh, god damn it, not the knees! The shape loomed her. Before she could blink, hot, damp breath was blown upon her face, and the smell of old meat and saliva. A tall, furry creature with glowing red eyes was staring and sniffing at her. Oh my god. That's enough, yummy mummy. Fruit Brute, leave her alone, the man said. Huzza, what? Mia gasped. She straightened her spine and shook herself free of what she still refused to believe was fright. She looked again and recognized a dusk form Lycanroc as it stepped away from her and to its master's side. My Pokemon, so sorry, they get overly excited. I am the caretaker here. Let me guess, Mia said, brushing off the pumpkin-printed blue skirt. She also wore a black top and a matching black beret on top of an orange rig. You're a cameo. Oh, I know. I bet you're Uncle Deadly. He hasn't appeared yet. The man cocked an eyebrow. Uncle Deadly? No, I'm just Mr. Locke. Oh, never mind. Mia and Caretaker Locke stood in awkward silence for a moment. Mia and Caretaker Locke stood awkward in silence for a moment. What brings you to the ancient burial ground, miss? Mia Easylay, she said. I'm a Pokemon trainer, trying to complete the Nanacut Pokedex so I can convince those nerdy Pokemon video game programmers I met to cough up a shiny charm. Then I'm going to shiny hunt. That is certainly a string of words, all in a row even, the caretaker said. Mia didn't have time for this. So, are there any wild ghost Pokemon here, or not? Indeed there are. Many, many Pokemon are laid to rest here and still haunted by night. They should be showing up any time now. He swung his arms out, gesturing towards the widest path through the graves. Mia took that as an invitation to get the hell out of that weird-ass conversation. As she walked along, she looked down the grave markers. Most were broken or worn away by time and age. None looked that new. Makes sense, this being the ancient burial ground and all. Mia! A voice shouted behind her. She knew that overly perky and nasally voice anywhere. Hi, Ivana, Mia said as she turned around. Suddenly, another trainer was running up and hugging her. It had been... As she walked, she looked down at the grave markers. Most were broken and worn away by time and age. None looked that new. Makes sense, this being an ancient burial ground and all. Mia! A voice shouted behind her. Mia! A voice shouted behind her. She knew that overly perky and nasally voice anywhere. Hi, Ivana, she said, turning around. Suddenly, another trainer was running up and hugging her. It had been weeks since Mia had last seen Ivana. So long she thought her friend and rival had given up and gone home. I knew I'd catch up to you eventually, Mia, Ivana said, letting go. Something seemed a little off in her face. Her eyes looked a little sunken, and not just from the thick eyeliner. She wore a black embroidered French revolutionary dress with multiple layers of skirts and bell sleeves. A tall white wig with pink boots rested on her head. Pink roots rested on her head, and boots for some reason. Something tickled Mia's memory, but she couldn't fully recall what it reminded of her. Catch up? And how many gym badges have you earned and Pokemon have you caught? Mia teased. She had no doubt she was and would always be the superior trainer. Oh, Mia, that's not what I meant. But I guess that means that you're here to catch ghost Pokemon too. Can I join you? Of course, Mia said, with her beautiful and subtle voice, unlike Ivana's sweet, disgusting, nasally one. It was nice to see a comforting face. Mia wasn't scared of spooky shit like graveyards, but deep down, something about this place unnerved her. They continued down the path. Sure are a lot of graves, Ivana said. I heard that this place dates back to the Calamity. So many lives lost in such a short time. Mia knew she'd heard the word Calamity before, but nothing more. She tried to act like she understood. Ah, yeah, right, the Calamity. Totally nailed it. Fucking Christ. Look, Mia, Ivana said. Mia followed Ivana's pointing, disgustingly large fingers to the row of tombstones. From the ground through the fog, faint light and spectral forms began to rise up. At last, Mia grabbed an unused Pokemon from her belt. The vapor flowed away, forming a dark purple ball where his eyes blinked open. Beangar! It moaned. From the ground, through the fog, faint light and spectral forms began to rise. At last, Mia grabbed an unused Pokeball from her belt. The vapor flowed up, forming a dark purple ball whose eyes blinked open. Beangar! It moaned. What? Mia shouted. She recognized it as Ghastly, but why was it saying such a weird name? There was something wrong with it. As dumb as it sounded, it looked dead. Deader than normal for a ghost. There were like little crackles of electricity and smoke flowing out of it. Vingar! It moaned again. Behind it, Mia could see the gravestone, which read, Bean and Partner. I'd love to get a Gengar! Pokeball, go! Ivana shouted. She threw the ball, but the apparition just glared. The ball froze in midair before shooting back towards Ivana, smacking her smack dab in the head. Ow! The ground next to another grave cracked, and another ghost emerged. A blue bird wrapped in bandages around its midsection. Plop, 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 the ghost chanted. The tombstone read, Brit and Partner. Is that a ghost-type Prinplup? Ivana gasped, missing the point. A Nanacut regional variant! What? I didn't think Nanacut had regional variants. Mia continued to scroll through the walkthrough, which continued to prove unhelpful. A glow emerged from a grave saying Allison and Partner. A Staravia emerged. It stood up to the ground and shook itself, then it took off, or rather half of it took off. The top half flew towards Mia as the bottom half ran towards her. Oh, fuck no, Mia shouted. She turned and ran down the path, forgetting all about Ivana. A Buizel burst through another grave. Mia stumbled and then nearly tripped over a ghostly Geodude who grew brightly and then exploded. Oh my god. Mia fell backwards from yet more graves, crawled up a host of bug Pokemon. Oh no! Kricketune, Wormadam, Dustox, Beautifly, Combi. They all sang out like some kind of sick haunted band at her. Mia stood up and kept running. I am getting the fuck out of this place. Shiny Charm be damned. She didn't watch where she was going and tripped over a root. She managed to put out her hands and landed on them, scuffing them up in the dirt. Doof. Doof. Mia's head craned around. From another gravestone popped the seemingly normal-looking head of a Bidoof. Doof, doof, it said, eyes wide and sad. It reminded her of her own Beatrice Doof. Oh, hi, little fellow. Did you come in here and get lost, too? This is no place for a normal little Pokemon tonight. Cautiously, she reached out a hand. The little Pokemon took a hesitant step forward and sniffed her hand. It grew momentarily excited and sniffed again, especially intrigued by the spot where she had scraped her palm falling. Oh, it's okay. It stinks a little bit, but I'm fine. Are you hurt at all? As soon as Mia finished asking, the Bidoof's eyes turned hollow and manic. Before she could react, it chomped down hard on her hand. Mia yanked her hand as hard as she could, and away as fast as she could. Sina Doof, the monster said, proud of itself. It stepped forward around the tombstone labeled Sina and Partner. Mia could see now this Pokemon too was dead. No, it was undead, filled with holes like it had been caught in an explosion. It looked a little like Swiss cheese. Doof, it said, eyes looking hungrier still. I'm about to get killed by a Bidoof. Bidoof, it said, eyes looking hungrier than ever. No! Get away! Mia shrieked. She felt stupid, like one of those girls in a horror movie that goes through walking through spooky graveyards, then run and stumble, and then, fuck, she was just like one of them. She had to get away. She grabbed onto a tombstone and pulled herself up. It wobbled from age, and she knocked it over onto the Bidoof. Mia ran, taking the chance to glance back where the zombie Doof was shaking off the stone, and continued to amble after her. Doof! This is seriously fucked up, she said. Because she was still looking backward, she didn't realize she was about to run into someone. Oof! Ow! Hey, watch where you're going! Mia, the voice said. Mia's skin warmed at the sound of the voice. Oh, I'm sorry, I know who it is. Ow, hey, where's... Oh, watch where you're... Mia? The voice said. Mia's skin warmed at the sound of the voice, so familiar, so comforting. She looked up into the surprised, yet still beautiful face of the trainer who was bracing Mia with her hands. Kenya? Yes, I'm me, and you're you, Mia. What? But no, I haven't met you before. How do I know? Mia's confusion levels were growing stronger. She remembered meeting Kenya before in Hartford City, but she hadn't been there yet. So how? Remember? Kenya said, leaning in and whispering in Mia's ears. This is non-canonical. Just go with it. Oh, okay, Mia said. Her legs felt like jelly at the whisper. Mia took a moment to take in Kenya. She was dressed in a black bodysuit marbled with red, like blood. Her wig was teased and large, and her boots a bright scarlet. It almost looked like she was wearing something underneath. Was there a reveal coming? Hopefully it would be better than those Good Girls Gone Bad Devil reveals from Canada's Drag Race Thursday night. There you are, the caretaker said, running up to them. Yes, I found her Uncle Nuz. Kenya said. Mia realized her hands were still. Mia realized her hands were still on Kenya's shoulder. Mia did not complain. He asked me to look out for you when you ran off. You two know each other? Yeah, this is Uncle Nuz, said Kenya. Huh. I thought I knew you were Uncle Dead. Wait, Nuz? I thought you were called Locke. I think you were Uncle Dead. Wait, Nuz. I thought you were called Locke. Oh no, I get it. Nuz Locke. Mia turned to the camera and stared dead into Uncle Deadly's eyes. How fucking dare you? This is the worst Halloween ever. Perhaps it was the terrible joke, but Mia suddenly felt dizzy and woozy. Kenya gripped onto her shoulder tight. You okay? You're looking a little rough, Kenya said. Oh yeah, just today's been a lot. It's okay. I'm here now, Kenya said as she caressed her hair. Yeah, but there are still all of those ghosts. Those really fucked up ghosts. Look, Mia, I caught that weird ghastly! Ivana cheered as she ran up, wielding a strange dusk ball that was smoking spookily. Ivana, I wouldn't trust the Pokemon you caught there. This place is seriously doofed up. Mia blinked. Seriously strange. Did you just say doof? Kenya asked, raising an eyebrow. No, Mia lied. There was this Bidoof earlier and it bit me. Ivana, I wouldn't trust that Pokemon you caught there. This place is seriously doof. Mia blinked, seriously strange. Did you say doof? Kenya asked, raising an eyebrow. No, Mia lied. There was this Bidoof earlier and it bit me. She showed everyone the wound, only it had healed. She had the scrapes in her hand from the fall. That's not right. Mia, Ivana said. She pointed to Mia's backside. On your back? What is that? Mia turned around in a circle 3 times before realizing she could see her back. Kenya stopped her. I think you have some moss on you, Kenya said. She held out a hand. May I? I guess. Mia, she pointed to Mia. Ivana said. She pointed to Mia's backside. On your back. What's that? Mia turned around in a circle 3 times before realizing she couldn't see her back. Kenya stopped her. I think you have some moss on you, Kenya said. She held out her hand. May I? I guess, Mia said, blushing. No one should touch a drag artist when they're performing, but she'd make an exception for Kenya. Kenya tried to brush off the moss, but whatever she did with her hand, it felt like Kenya was touching her. It hurt a little, but also felt good, like she was being petted, and... oh god, what was happening to her? Mia, that's not moss! Kenya batted at what appeared to be a cluster of brown lumps of fur. Hey, I can feel that! Why can I feel that? What is going on, Mia shouted. I just wanted to get some dumb ghosts. Not being attacked by a mummy, a werewolf, freaky ghost, and being bitten by a Bidoof, and now Ivana's here. I just want this to stop. Look like someone's having a Mia meltdown, Ivana said. Shh, Kenya shushed her, pulling her into another hug. Pulled her hand into another hug. Sissy? Oh, fuck her. Kenya's arms were firm. I wonder when Sissy's gonna get in this. Kenya's arms were firm and comforting. Mia could feel her body growing wobblier in them, but knew Kenya would never let her fall. Mia wanted to stay here forever. She didn't even mind that from the outside it looked like she was hugging a nun. Thank you, this place is just getting to me. I know, Kenya whispered. Mia could feel it in her spine. Kenya ran a hand up and down Mia's back. A thin moan came from Mia's throat. I like it when you whisper into my ear. It's soothing. I know, I have a lot of sweet nothings I can whisper in your ear, Mia, all night long. Like what? Mia asked. Her whole body was tingling now as her own hand slipped around Kenya's waist to rest on her lower back. Are you sure you're ready? Kenya whispered. Yes, please. She was feeling much better now. She didn't know where this was going, but it was certainly better than the way this night started. Okay, but you asked for it. Kenya breathed in deep, sniffing Mia's hair, guiding her lips just above Mia's skin. Her breath tickled the little hairs on Mia's neck. Kenya pressed her teeth lightly, not a bite, not even a nibble, on Mia's earlobe. Playful yet electric, she opened her mouth to whisper, to dazzle the world with glamour and grace. Mia recoiled, pulling out of Kenya's grasp. She knew those words. How did she know those words? Kenya stepped back from Mia, a devilish grin on her lips. Ivana stepped up next to her. Deception-eat the whole human race! Kenya tugged on her dress and started to rip it loose. To win your hearts with glamour and shade. The nun's habit fell away as Ivana removed her dress too. Both now stood in khaki shorts, army green shirts with glittery C's on the front and bandanas around their necks. To sing Kumbaya at the campfire glade. Ivana sang, Kenya, Ivana! Team Camp's here and you're out of luck. Surrender now or you'll be fucked. It's Bean Gau's revenge! Ah, yuck, yuck! The ghost Pokemon said, popping out of its Pokeball. Mia's heart pounded Mia's heart pounded in her head. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. Not Kenya. Not her, Kenya. That's right, Mia. I was never into you. I was playing you. It's me and Ivana, the way it was always meant to be. Kenya grabbed Ivana's hand and the two stared longingly into each other's eyes. They leaned in and kissed. No! Mia wailed. This can't be Doof! Kenya raised her eyebrow. You're not right, are you? I don't know what is doofing this, doof-ba-doof. Mia clapped her hands over her mouth, noticing they were covered in little brown fur. Not only that, but her front teeth. They were longer now. Rodolphe. This time, the voice wasn't hers. Mia spun around. The Swiss cheese Bidoof zombie was walking towards her, eyes glowing. Mia could feel in her spine. It had never been Kenya making her feel this way. It was a Bidoof all along. She felt sick to her stomach after the realization. Bidoof! Worse, from the fog came more creatures. Part other Pokemon, part Bidoof. A Bidoof painted like Mr. Mime. A Venusaur with buck teeth. A blue Bidoof with Azumarill ears, a Flareon with curly beaver tails, a saber-toothed walrus Bidoof, and some kind of Rocky Godzilla Bidoof, truly horrifying monstrosities, and a host of other strangely outfitted Bidoofs that only Madame Doofaroni could have predicted. Drop your favorite Bidoof emotes in chat to get the emote wall going. Even one in Team Camp garb. I hate this game. Mia could tell they were going to make her join her. She couldn't resist the call in her heart and her head. I told you, they're coming to get you, Barbara, the caretaker said. Who's Barbara? Kenya asked. Mia's outfit ripped apart as her body bent and contorted, leaving only thin straps of brown fur fabric like a harness. Fur grew everywhere, and she worried about the rising cost of laser hair removal. She leaned back her furry head and let out a powerful cry to the full buck-toothed moon. Mia Doof! Cue to the opening notes to Thriller fade to black. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mia, stop screaming and wake up, Kenya said. Her hands were on Mia's shoulder, shaking her gently. Mia blinked her eyes open. Her whole body was still vibrating until she realized where she was. A helicopter zooming around the skies of Nanakut. Huh? What? Was I? Yup, Kenya said. You were sleeping, but I promise you it was really cute. Until you started shouting Bidoof, I didn't know what to make of that. So all of it. The graveyard, the creepy Pokemon, you and Team Camp kissing Ivana, that was all a dream? Kenya shrugged and shook her head, not sure what to say. Glad you're awake, Mia, Professor Charter said from the front seat. Less than 5 minutes from Frizzle Mountain and the lair of the legendary Pokemon. Best get your game face on. Oh, come on. Don't tell me we're ending it with all of this with a dream sequence. That's so cliche. We could do better than that. But alas, we could not do better than this, for we used up all of our budget on those Bidoof monsters and the Weredoof transformation. Hopefully the network will cough up some dough for the next installment of Mia versus the legendary Pokemon. Until next time, Mia fans, stay shiny! Written by uncledeadly. Thank you for joining me for Mia Easily Reads uncledeadly fanfic. How do we feel? If we're on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. But we're live now on Twitch. Drop the emotes.